this is Alex, and welcome back to Banging Your Head Until the Right Answer Comes Out. Last session, we covered connecting SSMS to RDS SQL Server, and we're going to use that right now. Okay, so we're going to do some more kind of developer / DBA kind of activities, well, very light DBA, and we're going to learn some basics about SQL Server. We're going to create a database with the GUI, which is SSMS. And we're going to create a database with T-SQL. We're basically going to use what SQL Server did to create our database. And we're going to do it in a much simpler way than the way it did it. Okay. Now, I'm already connected to my EC2 instance, and I already have SSMS open. If you need to pause the video and open that up, go right ahead. Alright, so creating a new database. A database is basically a container inside of a database engine. And our database engine is running in RDS, which in turn is a container, basically an EC2 instance of compute power inside of Amazon's AWS. Alright, so we're going to right click on databases. We're going to click New Database. Doesn't get much simpler than this. We're going to call this database BERP, for Bob's Enterprise Resource and Planning Software. I've worked for years with ERP solutions, so maybe we'll do a little work that starts the beginnings of what could be a brand new ERP solution. It automatically changes the names down here of these logs. In fact, I typically love most of the defaults in Microsoft SQL Server. So I'm just going to leave everything the way it is. Maybe a brief discussion here about databases increasing in size. This used to be a danger point. Your database would increase in size. You would keep adding data. No one would be watching it, and then your database would go down. That really isn't a problem with RDS, though, because when you're using RDS SQL Server, you're not managing the server. So as your database grows and grows and grows, RDS is just supposed to keep growing with you. And they'll, of course, charge you for that. That's the value. They're giving you value and they're charging you money, much like working for a company. They're paying you and you deliver value. Alrighty. Now, this particular case, we are running SQL Server Express because I'm cheap and it's free. And so there is a limit with SQL Server Express of 10 gigabytes for your database. And what this could potentially do is it could increase in size until it's close to or past 10 gigabytes, and it would shut down on us. We're not going to get that far, but we can also write a little bit of code later to notify people that this is going to happen so that something could be done about it. Alright, so all we're going to do is click on OK. OK. And it did not take long at all. There's our shiny new database, BERP. And there it is. It is a container, and it contains all these kind of different objects in it. For now, we're not going to explore those objects. We're going to right-click on BERP. And this line here, script database as, can't talk again, script database as, create to new query editor window. It really doesn't get too much easier than that. So, for our purposes, there's a whole lot of stuff in here, and it's all the defaults. We don't need all of this. Or really any of it, to create a database. So we're just going to delete that for now. Or what we could do is we could leave it there and we could run a search and replace all of it with our new database name. In fact, you know what? That's what we'll do. Just to be safe. Right, so we're going to do Control F. Take this drop down and we're going to say BERP, and we're going to replace it with DevBERP, right? Right. had a coworker that would say that all the time. It sticks with me. Alright, so we're just going to hit replace all. And there it is, 38 occurrences. Nice and easy. Let's get rid of that so it's not highlighting our stuff. And so if we run this script, we just hit execute. Ooh, well, that doesn't look great. Let's refresh and see if it did it. And there we go, it did it. So it had some kind of failures here, but I don't think I'm going to worry about them too much. So I'm going to close this. We're going to open up our brandy new database and our old one, and you can see that they pretty much look the same. So personally, if we do this again, I would rather go with this method. Just going to get rid of everything down here, go up here, and we'll say it's a QAS system this time. Okay, QAS, and the few times that burp shows up, we're going to change it to QAS. There we go, and then we're going to execute, and it does wonderfully. So if we go over to databases and we hit refresh, there it is. We now have burp, dev burp, and QAS burp. And it was all fairly easy. Of course, they're not going to be able to do much, but there it is. And you could save this script. You could use a variable for some of the pieces in here, and it can create databases. We can create databases all day. So that's it for today. We learned how to create a database and how to create a database with some T-SQL with a little bit of difficulty. Alrighty.